Hello, it's me, itzanowski. And today I'm making a follow-up video on my last video with the title, Is the Metal Scene Sexist? And that video got over 1,500 views as of now. And for someone with less than 50 subscribers at that time, that's a lot. And with all of these views, I also got a lot of comments. And yeah, the comments are what I want to talk about today. First of all, I want to say that, of course, I'm not surprised that it got comments that I don't agree with. After all, we're on the internet. That's what you do on the internet, right? No, so I'm not surprised about that. And also, it didn't bother me personally. I don't know these people. Yeah, so I don't really care too much about comments that are not really constructive and that are just there to be annoying and hateful, but we'll talk about that. But it was also very interesting because in my real life, the people that I am in contact with, my friends, people I meet at shows or whatever, usually don't think like this. So it was really interesting to read some of the comments and go like, okay. Yeah, I think some of that has to do with the fact that a lot of people who watch the video are men from the US, so not really people I met on a day-to-day basis. And I think sometimes you could really tell in the comments. But one metric that was really important, or that is really important, is that many people did not watch the video until the end. So I think to an extent this is kind of normal. People click on something and then stop watching. But I think a lot of the people who commented also did not really watch the whole video and just started commenting. So that was interesting. But yeah, let's look at some comments, not all of them, and have a little analysis. Yeah, actually, when the video really blew up and got really a lot of comments in a short amount of time, I was stuck in a car because we played a gig the night before and we were just driving home and we were just stuck in the car for hours. So really, I actually had nothing better to do than to answer comments. And yeah, at some point I lost track a little bit, but I answered a lot of them actually. Yeah, and by the way, I'm also blurring the usernames of the commenters because, yes, I know the comments are public, but in case someone wants to delete the comment or I don't know how old or young some of these people are, I don't want it to be have them on blast forever. Oh, and by the way, some of the comments have already been deleted. So right before filming this, I wanted to take some more screenshots of some of the comments that I'm referring to here in the video. And some of them were gone. And yeah, I don't know. So I don't know if the people actually deleted them themselves or if someone reported maybe some comments, but some of them are not there anymore. So yeah, like I said, I'm blurring the username. So if someone decides, well, maybe this comment was not the best comment that I should have left on the internet, they can delete it. Anyway, let's look at the comments. So the first one was just a guy commenting, "Who cares?" He actually left this comment within, I think, the first hour of the video being uploaded. And I had this comment pinned for a couple of days because I just thought it was so fitting for this debate. You know, yeah, I'm making a video as a woman talking about sexism, and then there's just a man like going out of his way to click on it and being like, "Who cares?" And really wanting to let me know that he's not interested in this topic. Yeah, and then that was, I sighed and I laughed and I sighed again and was like, okay. Yeah, but I don't really understand why people click on videos if they're not interested just to leave a comment. But anyway, let's move on to more interesting comments maybe. So the next category of comments was the ones that said, well, the scene is not sexist, but women are whatever. So some of the comments are gone, but yeah, I'm going to show one of them. So they're saying, no, the scene is not sexist. And I don't know if they just don't know what it means and didn't watch the whole video because I gave the definition. So we're all on the same page. But I feel like some people just thought, being sexist is bad. I like metal good. So I'm just saying, no, the scene is not sexist, but women are this and that, and just giving an example of how the scene actually can be sexist. Then there were some people who just answered the question outright with yes. They said, yes, the scene is sexist, and this is how it's supposed to be. So, I can appreciate that they at least know what it means. Yeah, but of course, I don't really agree with that statement that it should be like this, but at least they know what they're talking about. Also, similar comments. This one's quite weird because this guy is just, referring to, that primal desire and, how metal is just, reminiscent of these older primal good times, and women are not part of that. So, as we all know, women are a quite recent invention. So some commenters also said, well, there are a lot of female bands or female musicians in bands in Brazil or Japan. And one guy called me ignorant because I don't know about the scene in Japan and how many female musicians there are. But, that's not really the point. I never said that there are no female musicians or, that there's no chance. Just speaking in general, if it's like this in Japan, that's great. But you cannot really say, so I'm from Germany, a lot of the viewers are from the US. You cannot say, well, the scene is not sexist. You're ignorant because in Japan, there are female musicians. That it's a little bit like, well, you can vote now. What more do you want? And the thing that I want is equality for all the people. So not only in the metal scene in Japan, but also in general in as many countries as possible. Another comment that was quite silly, and I wasn't really sure if the person was trolling or not, was a guy saying, well, can't men have anything for themselves? And I just simply answered no, because, that was quite silly, to be honest, because why should some men be able to claim a whole music genre and a whole group of people and subculture for themselves? Like, no. And not sure if those comments are still there, but yes, in this whole conversation, some people were like, oh no, it's mask off, and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Like, trying to hide what? Because no, men cannot just have this whole genre for themselves. No. It always sounds like women are just trying to take something away from men. But it doesn't really make sense because everybody can enjoy this music. Like, we're not running out of music. It's not a cake with just a certain number of pieces. We have a metal cake with infinite pieces. Everybody can have a piece with their own flavor and just enjoy it. So, I don't really get why they're always acting like we're just taking it away from them and there's nothing left for them anymore. But this ties in with something that another commenter said. So I replied to a lot of comments from them. And he said something like, what feminist women don't understand, they destroy. And I think this is very I'm14 and this is deep. But it always sounds like women are just there to destroy everything, which, actually sounds pretty badass. So I'll take it. But, there is not this sacred metal knowledge that only men have and women are too stupid to understand. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not that deep. And I don't want to personally attack anyone, but it's not that deep. It always sounds like these evil women are on a quest to destroy the sacred metal community. And I'm like, okay, how do you become part of that community? Do you get a letter like from Hogwarts, but it's, a bat just bringing you the sacred knowledge and you have to bite off its head and then it gets released and you become knowledgeable of the metal? I'm not sure. Like, comment down below if it was like this for you, because I don't know. Yeah, and of course there were also comments just saying, stop whining, practice more. And yeah, I never complained about my personal situation. So personally, we have a lot of opportunities to play gigs in my local scene. It's very progressive, and I'm quite content with my abilities. Of course, I'm always practicing, but this is not about me. So this is about a more systemic and overarching issue. And these issues are seldom just solved by one individual's actions. So just saying practice is not going to solve the issue for women overall in metal. You know, it's the same with a lot of other issues, like, for example, someone telling you, well, you should not drive a car, you're responsible for climate change, when in reality, just 100 companies or something are responsible for 71% of all greenhouse gas emissions, and you live somewhere where there's no public transport. So, you know, blaming everything on you just hides the fact that some other entities have way more influence on that. Yeah, it's not about an individual. Similar with racism. So if you tell a job applicant to just have a better education and they will find a job, that's not really true if they get rejected because they have, for example, in my case, non-German sounding name, or don't look Western European. So maybe side note, because I know in the US it's different, but in Germany it's quite common to send a picture of you with your application. And if someone doesn't like the color of your skin and rejects you, it doesn't matter if you have really good education or not. Yeah, I know this doesn't have anything to do with metal right now, but just to show you that it's not just about being the best if there is some other issue that is just systemic and overarching. And yeah, it just shows if many people have biases against women in metal, the barrier to enter the scene is higher, and it's just more difficult, and that is not equality. Yeah, so there was one guy, and I think he said that in 2 separate comments, that I just do that and women just say that because of social media, and especially because social media told us to. Yeah, I'm not sure if he saw some particular piece of content online that makes him think that, but I think for some people it's just hard to imagine that women are just talking about their personal experiences and what they have observed, and you know, that doesn't have anything to do with social media in the end. But of course, via social media, we can share our experiences, and like I am doing right now and with the other video, just sharing something. And of course, other people can then relate to it or cannot relate to it, as we're seeing. Also, the same guy made fun of me and another woman having a nice exchange in the comments, and she left some really nice ones. And yeah, he just said something stupid, I think. But the comment is also not there anymore, so maybe he has deleted it. But I really want to emphasize that many men fear nothing more than just women supporting each other and having each other's backs. And we should do exactly that. Yeah, so one guy left 3 angry comments in a row. I'm not sure if all of them are still there. And, you know, although he called me or the video fascist, yeah, I felt quite sorry for him because he talked about his personal experience. And he said that people don't trust women in metal because they made fun of men because they're listening to metal. And I'm assuming that he's talking from personal experience. And I feel sorry for him that he experienced that. So cannot say anything about that. But in general, it's never a good idea to judge a whole group of people, like half of the people in this world, women, just because of some people, like one person or multiple ones. So I just wish that he will have some nicer exchanges in the future. You know, talking about personal experiences and having your opinion because of that. There was also one older commenter, and he kept insisting that women don't like metal. They just like it because of the guys. Because in the 80s, apparently women he knew, it sounded like, just like the hair metal guys because they looked nice. So yeah. One guy whose comments we already talked about here also said something about that there's this rage bait. I found that really interesting because I think that this was really tame for rage bait. So I never intended it to be that, and did not film and upload it just to make men mad and cause an outrage. Actually, ideally, I want to build a supportive community where women, trans, non-binary people, and also interested cis men, like, you're all welcome here. If you are not sexist and misogynistic, you're welcome here, no problem. And, just to have an exchange, be supportive, talk about different topics. And this was never intended to be rage bait, And I think, to be honest, like, if you see someone talking about something you don't agree with on the internet, whether it's a woman or just a random person, and you call it rage bait just because you don't agree, like, I think that's a you problem. Also, I wanted to say that maybe it came across as rage bait because so many people were angry in the comments. But as I said, I had less than 50 subscribers. So I think the algorithm just kept showing it to people who engaged with that content. And engaging really meant leaving angry comments at that time. So I hope with time, with getting more subscribers and the algorithm figuring out who actually likes this content, I hope that it will just, get better and show it to people who are actually interested and not just angry about it. We talked about a lot of negative comments, but there were actually, quite a few nice comments too. And I thank you all for that. And it was really great to have some really good discussions and, just talking about different experiences. So this is exactly what I actually intended. Yeah, it was really interesting because, for example, one guy I had a nice conversation with, he commented again and said, at first I thought it's not really an issue, but, looking at all of these comments, I realized that it still is. And there was another similar comment to that. Okay, so my camera died and I didn't notice it. So instead of me, you will now be seeing some cute kitty B-roll. And to the people who don't watch the videos until the end, usually there's the best part, the bonus cat. But today, here are multiple bonus cats. Like I said, I wanted to build a supportive community and also, I know that I cannot change the minds of people who are just like, I hate women. Women are stupid and I don't want anything to do with them. That's really difficult to change their minds. But I was really happy to see that some people watched the video who maybe did not really think about it or thought that this was maybe an issue of the past and it's, in their scene or in their local community, it's maybe not an issue anymore. So it was quite nice to see people realize that maybe they should keep an eye on that. I'm glad you learned something. At the end of the day, these angry comments are not only related to the metal scene. I think this is something that happens with internet discourse, people not really watching the content, not really trying to get an informed opinion, just, commenting something right away and being angry online. As I said, this is an issue with internet discourse in general, and it creates a really toxic environment where we are not really willing to learn from each other and have a good discussion. That's really a pity. And I'm not saying that everyone has to have the same opinion as me. That is not going to happen, and it does not have to happen. So that's completely fine. But I think it would be nice if people just watch the piece of content, think about it, try to critique certain points, and like I said, have a discussion about it. Actually, the funny thing is that I think 2 people commented something like, everybody here agrees with me, which is not the case, first of all. But most people don't really have the time and nerves to just engage in toxic internet discourse for no reason. So, for example, I watch YouTube every day. And if I don't like something, if I don't like a video, I just close it and watch another one. And I think I probably comment YouTube videos like twice a year or something, and then I usually say something nice. So I'm a really passive, lurking YouTube consumer. But I don't really, like I said, I don't understand why you have to go out of your way to just be mean, and it doesn't really contribute to anything. Actually, big shout out to the guy who left a comment saying, I stopped watching when you said patriarchy. And I just said, well, maybe you shouldn't have. And what actually happened is that this guy said, well, you're actually right. I should not just admit that I'm ignorant and just watch it. I found that really refreshing and really nice because, I don't know if in the end he liked the video or not, and it doesn't really matter, but we shouldn't see ignorance as a virtue. We should see ignorance as something bad, because just admitting that you did not watch something or listen to something, but just outright decided that this is bad or whatever is not useful at all. And I think nowadays a lot of people think that you have to have an opinion right away and then stick with it, like your life depends on it. And this is simply not true. Like, you can not have an opinion on something. So sometimes it just takes time to, read up about something, gather some facts. If you don't know anything about a topic, you should try to learn about it and, not just picking a side and then sticking with it because. So yeah, I thought this was a really great comment and I was happy to read it. And in a similar vein, life is not about being right all the time. So I think if you make metal your whole personality or, football or K-pop or whatever, it's really easy to feel attacked whenever someone says anything negative about it. I'm not saying don't listen to metal all day and don't dress apart or whatever. Like, do all that. That's really great if you do something or enjoy something you're interested in. But I think your personality is probably much more than metal. And I think if you have a little bit of distance to that, you don't really feel attacked whenever someone says anything remotely bad or something that you consider bad. And even if you say, well, this is the most important thing to me, it does not give you the right to just judge other people because metal is not a homogenic group. You cannot just put everyone into a box and judge them. And, there's no metal test you can take and then you get a license to judge anyone. Yeah, please let people just enjoy something. Yeah, so please, I think we should stop the gatekeeping and just let people enjoy metal music. And I think, it can be quite easy. Anyone who enjoys metal music is welcome in the scene. Like, gates open, come in, at least according to me. And to all the sexist people who still won't welcome women into the scene, regardless of whether they're making the most brutal music or look really metal or whatever, yeah, fuck you. The only thing I can say is that women and people of other gender identities will keep on making music and go to the shows, go to festivals and be part of the scene. And we will still call out sexist behavior whenever we see it. So there's that. And to all the women, trans, non-binary, whatever gender people, and also cis men who don't like sexism and misogyny, I want to say, let's keep on supporting each other. And on a last note, I want to say that I'm still a baby YouTuber and I didn't really know much about comment moderation. So under the last video, I just, let the comments flow. And in total, I deleted just 2 comments that were openly transphobic. And in the last video, I asked women to drop their projects in the comments so we can check them out and support them. And of course, it didn't happen because who would willingly put their project as a woman into a sea of sexist comments? So that was really a pity. And I think I will not really restrict any comments under this video as well, because it's about comments. But I read up on comment moderation and best practices. And in future videos, I will delete comments that don't really contribute to any discussion or have any valid points. So stuff like, haha, women bad will be deleted in the future. And, of course, you are welcome to have a discussion, to ask questions and stuff like that. But, if it's just to troll and annoy, this will be deleted. Anyway, enough for today. I gotta get dinner and I hope you're having a great day and see you soon.